The moment the plane jolted and a desperate cry tore through the cabin, everyone froze, everyone except Michael Turner, who was already unbuckling his seatbelt before the flight attendant even called for medical help. Michael, a single dad traveling home with his 17-year-old daughter, Lily, had no idea that the man slumped 2 rows in front of him, ashen skin, trembling hands, and fading consciousness, would change both of their lives in ways none of them could possibly foresee. The collapse. The flight from Dallas to Seattle had been peaceful for the first hour. Lily was sketching in her notebook, her favorite distraction from the fear that had been quietly creeping into her life since her mother passed away 2 years earlier. Michael watched her, wishing he could take her pain, her uncertainty, all of it, and bury it somewhere the world couldn't touch. Then came the gasp. A woman shrieked, "Someone help. My husband, he's not responding." The man, a well-dressed passenger in his 50s, had collapsed sideways, his wife shaking him frantically. A flight attendant rushed forward, radioing the cockpit. Michael didn't hesitate. With years of volunteer EMT work behind him, instinct took control. He pushed through the aisle, kneeling beside the man. "I'm Michael," he said calmly. "I can help." The wife, Angela, nodded, tears racing down her cheeks. "Please, his name is David. He has a heart condition." Michael checked David's pulse, weak. His breathing, irregular. "We need to keep him conscious," Michael said, tapping David's cheek gently. "Stay with me, sir. Stay with me." Lily watched from their seats, heart pounding, fear and pride warring inside her. A fight at 30,000 feet. For the next 20 minutes, Michael worked tirelessly. He coordinated with the flight crew, guided them through opening the emergency medical kit, and monitored David's vitals as the pilot made an emergency diversion. Angela clung to hope through Michael's steady voice. "You're doing great," he reassured her. "He's fighting." Lily walked up quietly and placed a bottle of water next to Angela. "For you," she whispered. "You look like you need it." The small gesture made Angela cry harder, but this time, with gratitude rather than terror. When the plane finally touched down in Denver, paramedics boarded and took over. As they wheeled David out, still breathing but barely conscious, Angela turned to Michael and Lily. "You saved his life," she said, gripping Michael's hands. "I don't know how to thank you." "You don't need to," he replied softly. "Just take care of him." But fate wasn't finished tying their lives together. An unexpected turn. 2 days later, back home in Seattle, Michael received a call. "Mr. Turner, this is Angela." She paused, voice thick. "David is stable. He's asking to meet you." Michael agreed, bringing Lily along. They entered David's hospital room to find him pale but smiling. "You were the one who wouldn't let me slip away," David said. "I remember your voice." Michael shrugged humbly. "I just did what anyone would." "Not everyone does," David replied. Over the next hour, conversation flowed. They learned that David was the CEO of a major tech company, one of the largest in the state. But more importantly, he was a father, just like Michael. His daughter, Emma, was studying abroad and rushing home after hearing the news. As they talked, David kept glancing at Lily, quiet, withdrawn, but listening. "What are your plans after high school?" he asked her gently. Lily hesitated. "Art school, I hope. But it's complicated." Michael felt a familiar stab. Money had been tight since losing his wife. Lily's dream was slipping out of reach, and she knew it. But then David said something that changed everything. "You helped save my future. Let me help secure hers." A path rewritten. Over the next several weeks, their families grew unexpectedly close. Angela visited often, always with warm meals or small gifts. David checked on Lily's art projects, offering encouragement as if she were his own daughter. And one afternoon, he invited them to his company headquarters. "I want to sponsor Lily's education," he said plainly. "Full tuition. Anywhere she wants to go." Michael's breath caught. "David, that's too much." "No," David replied. "What you did for me was priceless. This is the least I can do." Lily's eyes filled with tears as she looked at her father. "Dad, is this real?" Michael hugged her tightly. "Looks like God sent us a miracle." Emma, once back home, became like an older sister to Lily. They bonded over coffee, late-night study sessions, and shared grief, Emma having nearly lost her father, Lily still coping with losing her mother. Through this new bond, Lily found not only mentorship but also the emotional support she'd been missing for years. Fears, setbacks, and healing. But the journey wasn't without challenges. Michael struggled internally, feeling guilty for accepting help. He worried he was failing as a father. He questioned whether his pride was worth standing in the way of Lily's future. Lily, meanwhile, wrestled with anxiety. She feared she'd disappoint everyone. She feared leaving home. She feared losing more people she loved. David faced his own hurdle, recovering from his cardiac event while accepting vulnerability, something CEOs rarely do. Each of them, in different ways, was learning to heal. One evening, while visiting David during rehab, Lily confessed, "I draw because it's the only place I don't feel broken." David smiled gently. "Then draw until every broken piece becomes something beautiful." Michael overheard and realized, Lily didn't just need financial help. She needed a community. And somehow, this unexpected friendship was giving them one. A destiny forever changed. The following year, Lily was accepted into her dream art school in New York, with a full scholarship funded by David's foundation. On the day she left, the entire group, Michael, David, Angela, and Emma, stood together at the airport. "I never would have made it here without you," Lily said, hugging each of them. Angela brushed her hair lovingly. "Just promise us you'll soar." David added, "And when you do, remember this, sometimes the biggest miracles happen in the middle of chaos." Michael held his daughter last, eyes proud and misty. "Your mom would be smiling so big right now." Lily whispered, "Dad, I'm not scared anymore. I have all of you." The legacy of a mid-flight miracle. Two families, once strangers, were now bound by a crisis that nearly ended a life, but instead saved another. David lived, not just because Michael stepped in, but because compassion still exists in the world. And Lily found her future, not just because of money, but because people believed in her when she didn't believe in herself. Their story became a quiet reminder whispered through the years. Sometimes God reroutes your flight so your life can land exactly where it's meant to be. And that one act of courage, one moment of choosing to help, can alter someone's destiny forever.